Hello and welcome to this episode of the Lump Job podcast, where every match has its price. In this episode, the panel will be turning their attention to the World Cup quarter-finals. But before we get into that, we have got one exciting announcement to make. As a thank you to all of our loyal listeners, we're giving one of you the chance to win a £100 Lump Job bet on the World Cup final, courtesy of the Lump Job panel. We'll be announcing the winner in our next episode, that's episode 8, ahead of the World Cup semi-finals, where the winner will be selected at random during live recording of that show. Once the semi-finals have been played, the winner will simply just need to send over the Lump Job selection for the World Cup final, and we will place a £100 stake on that bet. If your bet wins, you keep all of the returns, that's including the £100 stake, and the bet is entirely your choice. But don't think that you're getting off too lightly, because we will definitely be reviewing the bet on the World Cup final episode, and we will definitely be letting you know our thoughts on the selection. I'll explain exactly how to enter later in this episode, including the 3 steps required to take part, along with the submission deadline. So make sure you keep listening to this episode and you do not miss out. If you've been enjoying the podcast, we'd really appreciate it if you could subscribe to the channel on YouTube, follow us on Spotify, give us a follow across all of our social media accounts at the Lump Job Pod. It only takes a couple of seconds. It's completely free, and every follow and subscription genuinely helps us reach more fans, and it continues to help us grow the podcast. As always, all picks on this podcast are for entertainment purposes only and should not be considered betting advice. Please gamble responsibly and only bet what you can afford to lose. Thanks.
You are now listening to the Lump Job podcast, where every match has its price.
Hello and welcome to episode 7 of the Lump Job podcast, where every match has its price. I'm your host, Connor, and today I'm here with Chrissy, Corey, Fraser, Andy and Steve. So we've got a full house on tonight. Lads, how we doing?
Good, mate.
Good to be back.
How are you?
Good to be back.
Good.
Feel like I don't know what I'm going to be doing tonight because I've not done it for 3 weeks, but I'm back, lads. We're back. We're back.
Feeling rusty, Andy, boy?
Aye, mate. I've been practicing my lines all week.
Lads came out of hiding.
After my bet coming down, I thought I better duck and dive for a couple of weeks.
I had a section to power you, I know. I need to get that out now that you're on to defend yourself. He's been getting out and enjoying the sun. I've brought it back with me. I get back to my holidays today.
Oh, aye, how was it?
It was good, mate. Really good. First time being in Ibiza airport where I've not been absolutely dying the journey home, so that was good to experience that.
It's always a first then, aye.
Corey, boy, you golfing earlier?
Just off the golf course, just getting this second for the podcast. Still got a golf pole on, sorry.
Aye, you get some colour
Representing Paisley Golf Club.
Right, quite a few things to talk about. But just before we get into it, what about this competition we're releasing, lads? That is some competition for the listeners, isn't it?
Aye, unreal, mate. Class.
£100 on an LJ, courtesy of the LJ team. Wow.
Right.
Might need to enter that in a secret account, try and get that myself.
I suspect that any Mexican names put themselves down.
Gimnez, Turnez, aye.
It'll be interesting to see what the winner picks. Might need to steal the bet if it's a absolute fucking cracker right enough for the final. So it'll be
Might
interesting.
take Andy's place in the pod, man.
That's just the start of it, aye. We're going to get slaughtered all night. I'm just going to go off now, right?
What did you say to me week 1? Take it, sit down and take it after Turkey.
I will.
Well, the thing is, Andy, your bet landed last episode or not? Still
know,
take
it's
that
not-
pound.
Do you know what?
At the highest odds.
I deserve it. Got to take the good with the bad, didn't you?
Right. Well, let's go on to, before we get into this week's lump jobs, we need to mention the previous bets that have landed. So anybody that's been under a rock or doesn't follow our social media accounts, they'll know have seen the quarterfinal bet that we've been posting all over our socials from Chrissy Boy, an absolute belter of an anti-post bet pre-World Cup, which was obviously Spain, Argentina and France to get the quarterfinals. And that landed. That was 5-1. An absolute stonker. I think everybody, and we all had it on, and I think tens of listeners also had it on. Got us up a fortune. Chrissy Boy, were you pleased it landed, mate?
I'm buzzing, honestly. A few people sent me it as well that I didn't even know who put it on, so that was class as well. But it 2-0 down. I was like, oh no, what is happening? Up in smoke. Because Argentina were 1-7 before the game to qualify, and then they're 2-0 down, but
Aye.
came back to win, so happened in good fashion.
Well, that's what I've got in my notes here. Do we think that Argentina deserve to go through? I've seen mixed opinions. I think some folk say that they do. Some folk think that Egypt were hard done by. What do you think?
Aye, definitely. They deserve to go through. 3 good goals.
No, I think it comes down to the foul. What do you think about the foul? For me, that should be just let go. It was 110 yards for the goal.
Nah, no chance. Same phase of play. He took the ball from a foul, went straight up the park and scored. It'd have been different if he'd passed it about a bit, and then it was a second phase of play, but it was the same phase of play. Mate.
It was only 15 seconds, but I think it should have been disallowed.
Nah, no chance.
I'm going to agree with Corey there. I think it should have been disallowed. I don't think it's a goal because he's went against the Egypt goal in the same game. So you've got to have a wee bit of consistency, and it's no the foul's there. You can't give one and not give the other.
What? So the foul on who? Salah? You mean later on in the game?
I would say so, but then you need to give the penalty as well, isn't it? So you're totally flipping it. Plus, I think they want Argentina to probably get to the final. So
That was never a penalty, but they can be hard. They're hard done by that goal getting chopped off. But they've let a lot of stuff go this tournament, and then they just say, "Oh, we're pulling this one back."
So if you're going to let it go, then you've got to let it go towards the attacking side, and they gave it to the defending side. It wasn't right. Too far back.
Yeah,
Hopefully it's a wake up call for them, the Argentina.
I don't think MD in this panel was actually giving a fuck right enough.
No.
As soon as that header went in, Andy was going ballistic.
Ethics went out the window for that one.
And then an interesting one that I actually want to hear from when people are entering the competition in the comments. I would like to know their thoughts on this as well, because I know we spoke about it briefly. Should Lionel Messi be whipped off penalties for Argentina?
no for me, no. No with my bet.
I don't think they will because he's just the main man. Aye, too.
It's got to be his call. I think he might actually give it up because he did look on. It's the first time I've seen him under that amount of pressure hitting it. He didn't look confident, but I think it's his call. But for me, he should be taking himself off it.
Nah, no chance. He's going for the top scorer, mate. He's not as selfish as Ronaldo, but he's still wanting to get that record, I reckon.
What if they get to a penalty shootout and he misses? Imagine that.
He's already missed in 2 shootouts for them in the Copa America.
He's
and
no
knockout
good at
games.
penalties at all. I honestly thought more people would agree with me that Scaloni should just take him off it, but I think you're right, Corey. I think it'll probably be up to him. Scaloni's probably going to go to him. Do you want to take the next one, or do you want to?
He's a penalty kick taker. If you take him off it and somebody else misses him, you say, "What did they take him off it for?"
Aye, but because he's fucking. Because I think he's missed half of the penalties that he's hit at the World Cup.
He's had 8.
4 out of 8.
And scored 4. Missed 4.
Aye, that's pish. for the.
He's bad at something.
Aye. Still scored in every single World Cup game of this tournament. So
I know. Imagine he put them away.
I know the golden boot would be in his locker then now. All right. Right, well, that covers the Argentina game. Moving on just quickly to the round of 16 lump jobs, was our most successful round yet of the World Cup, where we saw 5 of 6 lump jobs landing. So let's just quickly review those. Not going into too much detail, but the first game was obviously Stiv, Morocco to win against Canada and under 3.5 goals in that game. That landed, mate, at 75. A really strong start there, even though Morocco were fucking horrendous that first half.
I thought even when I'm being horrendous, 0-0 was like good for the bet with the under 3.5 angle. They'd get a wee bit nervous towards the end because it looked like Canada just completely stopped defending. That goal, that header went half the bar, and then a late minute goal. So
Aye.
they'd get a wee bit nervy after looking like it was a few in.
Aye, you says in the chat you were calm about it. I was going off my nut. That's the worst. I didn't think Morocco. It's because I super singled Morocco as well just to win, but I just didn't think Morocco had it in their locker to be that bad. To be honest, it's the worst I've seen them. But bet lands, mate. Well done, Corey, with a really abstract market. France to win and Mbappe to score. Landed, mate, got us off to a flyer. Aye, even though they get
no my proudest bet, but it worked nicely with the timings around the other games for doubles and trebles and that. But
no, mate, you're spot on.
What time did Mbappe score that goal at?
Don't know, 70, just after the water break.
Was that an early last bit for you, lad?
No, I actually had a feeling they were always going to get a penalty, but I was about 8 beers down, so maybe that helped.
Mate, you did.
Called it perfectly because
I was going to say,
goals happened.
I know you called it, mate. You did say.
I said it was a penalty, and I did have a feeling they were going to get one the full game, just the way the game was going.
So that was that bet landing. I know we had a few doubles on those first two. So anybody following the socials who have seen the double slip that we were posting. Next up was myself, Brazil, Norway shots with over 8.5 shots on target in the game. That took a penalty in the 100th minute to land, but it still fucking landed, so no caring. But that game didn't actually go the way I thought it would at the start. Brazil actually sat in against Norway, and Norway were happy to just pass the ball between the back four for large parts of the game. So it was surprising. And Norway actually had more shots on target in Brazil that game, which I'm surprised at. But the bet still lands when you've got a team with the likes of Haaland in it. So
last minute penalty to bring it home as well. That's unreal.
I know. I was going ballistic in the pub when I was watching it on holiday. Nicole was telling me to calm down. Says I look like a nutter celebrating shots on target. And then next we had Fraser, Mexico v England, both teams to score at evens. That landed early doors in the first half, mate.
Aye, canter, mate. Just went as I said. Well, actually, England came out and got the first couple of goals, but I just knew Mexico were going to try and go for them. An open game, sure enough it was. I got a treble up with the first two bets and England, and then I had another treble because I fancied England, I said on the pod. So I had another pod with England win, that came in as well. So it was a good week.
Aye, agreed, mate. And like I says, all the doubles, trebles have been posted, were posted on the socials. There was loads, and I know a few listeners copied it as well. So it was, it was good to see. So at this point, we're 4 out of 4. The lads are euphoric. We think that the sixfold, which was coming in at 65 to 1's landing. Then Chrissy Boy quarter-final bet, anti-post champ has gone from hero to zero. With his lump job. Mate, to be fair, a bit unlucky. So your bet was obviously Spain to qualify and Spain to score over 1 goal in the game at 21-20, mate. Chrissy.
No, hands up, I fucked that one. But I was trying to be too smart. I think. I thought I was trying to be too safe, thinking they would score 2 goals, and the last game was 2 each, so it was just kind of in case it went like that. But it was too cagey. Probably should have just done Spain to win in hindsight, but we'll
Unlucky
live and
lad.
learn.
Unlucky. And then Andy boy, last but not least, both teams to score in the Argentina-Egypt game. See, when we read that out in the previous pod, we were all laughing at the start, but then see when we actually spoke through it, and we were like, oh, they conceded against Jordan, then they conceded against who did Argentina play
Cape
in the last
Verde.
30? Cape Verde, conceded 2 to Cape Verde. We were like, that bet's actually all right. And then there you go, came in and nae bother again, Andy boy. 11-8 that was.
It
13-8.
was risky the other way. I was actually starting to think Argentina were only going to score.
I know, mate. So
Imagine that.
I know,
Oh,
that's what I was starting to worry about
never in doubt.
that.
So I very, very close to the sixfold 65-1 landing. So I'm sure we'll get one of those in at some point, probably when the Scottish League start. Okay, guys, before we get into the panel's quarter-final bets for the World Cup, it is competition time. Please note that this competition is strictly open to individuals aged 18 and over. So to enter, there are 3 steps that you have to take. Firstly, subscribe to the Lump Job podcast on YouTube. Secondly, follow the podcast either on Instagram or X, formerly known as Twitter for the oldies, at the Lump Job Pod. And then finally, comment on this episode on YouTube with World Cup Lump Job, along with either your Instagram or X handle, whatever platform you followed us on. If you're listening on Spotify, you'll need to jump over to YouTube to complete your entry, as all entries must be submitted via the YouTube comment section. When commenting, feel free to let us know what you love about the podcast or any interesting World Cup quarter-final bets that you have lined up. And that's it. You're in the draw. Please note that only 1 entry per person can be accepted, and any duplicate entries will not increase your chances of winning and may be removed. Entries close at 11:59 p.m. on Saturday, the 11th of July, so not long. So make sure you're quick. And then, like I says, we will announce the winner in episode 8 ahead of the World Cup semi-finals. Please note that it's the winner's responsibility to reach out to us to claim their prize. So if you're in the draw and you're the lucky winner announced on episode 8, please reach out to us straight away via your entry account, either on YouTube, Instagram, or X. If the prize is unclaimed by 5 p.m. on Thursday, the 16th of July, another winner may have to be drawn. So if you do win this competition, please make sure you reach out to us straight away, let us know who you are, and then we will follow up after the semi-finals to get your selection on the final for that £100 lump job to be placed. Full terms and conditions for the competition are detailed in the episode description. Good luck, and thank you so much for supporting the Lump Job podcast. Myself and the panel really do appreciate it. Okay, back to the episode where we will hear the guys' selections for the quarterfinals. Cheers. All right, so that's enough bigging ourselves up, talking about how good our bets have been. Now to put our money where our mouth is for the quarterfinals of the World Cup. And we've got some lump jobs lined up for you. So on my sheet here, I've got Corey to go first. However, Corey, before you joined, Andy says he might want to go first. I don't know if you want to go first, Andy, or if you want.
Aye, mate, if that's all right with you. So I'm going to go down the same route as what Corey did the last round with the team to qualify and a player to score. So I'm going to go for Messi to score and Argentina to qualify, which is 11-10. I think the odds are pretty good considering Messi's scored in every single game. Again, he takes the penalties. Don't know if he'll score a penalty, but I think that Argentina, I think they're going to get to the final. So going to have them to qualify and Messi to score in that game, which is 11-10. Also, Watching the Swiss, I wasn't impressed with them. I think they were very lucky in the game last night. Colombia could have finished them off, so I don't think they're that great actually. So that's my bet for the quarterfinals.
And just remind us, Andy, so that is Argentina to qualify and
Just to
Lionel
qualify
Messi.
Messi, to score in the game.
What price is that?
That's at 11 to 10.
11 to 10. What's the panel's thoughts on that?
They'll argue against it.
Right, it's a bit, you can't really argue against it, especially when Messi scored every World Cup game so far.
9 in a row, as if you go back to the last one.
9 in a row is fucking crazy, and that's him missing penalties.
Yeah.
Do we know the only thing? Sorry, Steve, what are you going to say, mate?
I was just going to say, you've got to think Argentina can't play as bad as they played for like 80 minutes of that game against Egypt.
Mm-hmm. They know when to turn it on as well. That's like, see, to score 3 goals that quick, that's when the pressure's on. Do you know what I mean? They can just flick a switch and they're back in the tie. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah,
fair play to them.
I wouldn't have minded you getting a bit greedy and just gone for the Argentina victory. I think they're quite. It's a short-ish price, but 7 to 10, I think that's no bad. I don't rate Switzerland at all, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm the same way. I don't rate them, but I was just being safe.
Aye, fair enough.
All right.
Right, I don't think there's any objections to Andy's bet. Pretty straightforward, decent price, ballpark evens. Cunt that scored the last 9 games in a row to score.
You know what's happening.
I imagine he gets a last
penalty
to score, and then he gives it to somebody else for a bet.
90th minute.
All right, Andy boy, thanks for that, mate. If there's nothing else on that bet, so just to confirm, that is Andy's lump job is Argentina to qualify versus Switzerland and Lionel Messi to score in the game at 11 to 10 on Bet365. All right, Corey boy, sorry mate, I know you're supposed to go first, but AB put in a request.
I never go first, it's all right.
What hit us with your lump job, mate?
My lump job is going to be Spain over 5.5 corners at 10 to 11 with 365. It's landed in all 5 of Spain's games so far at the World Cup. And more importantly, there has been 16 in their 2 knockout games. They get 7 versus Portugal and 9 versus Austria. And they're averaging 8 a game in the knockouts and the tournament as a whole. Pretty short and sweet.
Like it, bud.
So that's Spain over 5.5 corners versus Belgium in the quarterfinals at 10 to 11 from Bet365. Mate, can't you really argue with that?
I know. I was surprised at it because it's under 5.5 is 45 and over 5.5 is 10 to 11. So I don't understand that with the way the last 5 games have went. So I think they've priced it up wrong.
Did you say that's landed in other games so far?
They got 11 versus Cape Verde, 6 versus Uruguay and Saudi Arabia, and then 9 versus Austria and 7 versus Portugal.
That's wild.
That's a cracker.
I know. The only reason I wouldn't fancy that bet is if they were playing. See if they were playing France or something, then you'd be like, no. But against Belgium, fucking all day.
Also, as a side note, the 4-seeded teams reached the quarterfinals: England, Spain, Argentina, and France, and they've been doing well with the corners, especially Spain and France, and all 4 to land over 5.5. It's 13 to 1 as a wee extra side bet.
Oofed. Wee supercharger.
The Maverick bringing the corner bets on it.
He's trying to get that clipped for TikTok, isn't he?
No, I looked at France because their stats were very much the same, but they're 46 and Spain's 10 to 11. So I thought with Spain landing all of them, they were the banker I was going to go for.
100%.
Sounding good, actually. I'll probably have a look at that.
Aye, I think it's a cracker. I'll definitely be pairing up with mine.
Aye.
Cheers, lads.
Interesting. There's usually a bit of aggro, a bit of folk no fancying bets, but so far we've had 2 that the full panel seem to be on board with, including myself. Since we are already on the Spain and Belgium game, Steve, do you want to hit us with your lump job, please, mate?
Aye, so my lump job is Spain v Belgium, there not to be a goal in both halves. That's 65 with Paddy Power. So reason behind that, Spain haven't conceded a goal the whole tournament. They've also 3 out of 5 of their games have been under 1.5 goals. So barring their 2-3-0s, they've been low scoring games. Belgium, early stage of the group stage, they didn't look very good. Started coming onto a game kind of towards the end of the Senegal game, first 60 odd minutes or so of that, they were getting absolutely battered. I'd never seen the USA game, but it looked like they won that quite comfortably. But I just think them getting to a first quarter final since that 2021 Euros, I think they'll be a bit more nervous and just see playing out maybe 0-0 in the first half.
Aye.
I don't really like it. I think that's the first one I don't like.
Sure,
I just
reasons
think
for that, Fraser?
I think there's far too much risk with it, to be honest. I don't like betting on goals under 2.5 or goal both offs. No, I just don't never do it. But at the same time, Belgium won 4-1 the last game. I just think there's far too much risk with it.
Aye, it's just you can just get a lucky goal and that's it done, isn't it? So,
Aye, mate.
the stats back it up. I can see why
I
you
like
picked it.
I'm going to be honest. I think all 4 games are going to be very low scoring, and I like it.
I'm torn. Because the reason I do like it is after seeing Spain versus Portugal. That's probably one of the worst fucking games of football I've ever seen in my life. When do you ever think? When do you think you're ever going to say that? Spain versus Portugal in a fucking knockout tournament is one of the worst games you've ever seen.
They've done 0-0, a 1-0, and a 1-0
I picked it
out of 5 games.
Aye.
They've not conceded, have they?
I think it's a good bet.
I suppose the angle is Spain here, but
Spain.
Belgium, I don't know. I just don't fancy it.
Spain give up by far the least chances in the tournament, and they struggled themselves up the other end. I like it.
Belgium look a different team now that they've took out De Bruyne and Doku. Funny enough.
Aye, mate, you're spot on. Aye.
We know that you mentioned Morocco with the corners. I think you said they've had all those corners. Spain, they've not scored for one yet.
Aye, 39 corners and they've not scored one. They get one chopped off against Austria, which should have counted, but bar that, they've had a lot of play and loads of corners and not done much with it. And also in Belgium's 4 goals, I don't know if he's watched it, it was all USA mistakes at the back, passing it about, the keeper coming out. Like all 4 goals could have been prevented, and Spain will not give them that chance.
Fair enough. No, I definitely won't.
All right. Fair enough. Interesting bet, Steve, my man.
Need to back him because he's got the last 2 right. So.
I know. Can he go up against the on-form bet selector?
The negative bet selector. under 3.5, no goals.
If the bet lands, that's all that matters, isn't it?
No, definitely.
Right. Okay. So just to recap, that is Spain versus Belgium. Both a goal in both halves. No. And that's 21-20 on Paddy Power. Is that right, Steve? 21-20 in Paddy Power?
65 it was.
65 on Paddy Power. Okay, mate. Thank you. Nice price. Right, next in my wee list here, I've got Chrissy, who's going to try and redeem himself after letting down the 6-fold in the last episode. Chrissy, mate.
My bet's going to be Messi to have 1 shot. No, I'm joking. It's going to be Argentina to qualify and to have 4.5 shots on target. The reason for the bet is in 4 of their 5 matches at the World Cup, they've had at least 5 shots on target. The Egypt game, they had 7 on target. Cape Verde, 10 on target, 8 in 90 minutes. The Jordan game, that was the one they had 4 on target, but they played like their second team mostly, so we'll not hold that against them. And then Austria, 5 on target, and Algeria, 6 on target. So I just think they will get that. Plus, they'll be looking to put in another performance with the last one going 2-0 down. So I think they'll get it. Switzerland, they conceded 7 shots on target to Canada. Argentina are miles better than them, so it just seems a good angle to go for. They only conceded 3 shots on target to Colombia, but I did watch the game, and Colombia had 15 shots, only 3 on target, but they put 2 or 3 over the bar by the post that was harder to miss. So I think Argentina will punish them more than Colombia. So that's a bet. Argentina and over 4.5 shots on target at evens.
Aye, I like it. I'm kind of torn between liking Chrissy and Andy's bets the most, behind mine, obviously.
So
I know only 4 games, so we're going to have a bit of doublers, aren't we?
So
Aye.
basically, both Chrissy and Andy's bet have got Argentina to qualify, but Chrissy's is Argentina over 4.5 shots on target, and Andy's is Messi to score. Is that right?
That's
Aye.
correct.
What's the difference in the odds, sorry, with them two?
Mine's is evens.
Mine's 11 to 10.
Nothing in it, and I'd probably just go for Chrissy's personally. Colombia really did miss a few sitters as well, didn't they?
Yeah.
And
It's
plus,
not in it.
Switzerland, they're just going to try and get to extra time, hopefully, aren't they? So that's why I just done to qualify, just in case it does go for a draw. But
They're a real solid team as well, so they might not give away too much, which makes me favour Andy's slightly. But I don't know. I'm torn.
Aye.
I was going to say that I've not watched a lot of the Swiss games, bar the first one, but I did look at the stats when I seen the bet come in, and I was going to say they've only gave up over 3 shots on target in one of the games, and it was the Canada game against kind of. I don't fancy them, but I noticed that.
Fair point.
Aye.
And by the way,
then-
Argentina were rotten for 80 minutes, remember?
exactly.
Aye.
You've just tipped them at 7 to 10.
Canada,
Aye, I do fancy them, but they were rotten. I'm just stating a fact, they were rotten.
Oh, good, bruv.
Canada had 13 shots. Colombia had 15 shots. In Argentina's game, they had 19 against Egypt, 22 against Cape Verde, 15 in 90 minutes, 12 against Jordan, 12 against Austria, and 10 against Algeria. So they're getting shots away. It's just whether they get them on target or not, but I think they will get at least 5.
See as well, I'm sure that the Messi goal, that would carry on to extra time if it went to extra time.
Aye, that's right.
Aye, it was
Aye, that one with
The shots on target
wouldn't-
don't.
It's a good.
just how safe you want to be, I guess.
Aye.
Yeah.
That's a good point, Andy. So on Bet365, that includes extra time for the player
Yeah,
scorer.
so it could be nothing each, and then Messi could score in extra time, say. Do you know what I mean? Or
Aye.
whoever if he gets subbed, which I doubt he would, then it carries on to whoever that is.
Bring on a centre back.
Aye.
I quite like Chrissy's and just to be honest, Andy. It's hard to pick between the two of them. I don't know why, I just like the shots on target market. Because even if somebody hits a shot, as soon as the keeper saves it, you're still at yes.
100%, aye.
Aye,
Yeah,
they're
he
two
is.
good bets. It's just a personal preference, isn't it?
Aye, right. Okay, thank you, Chrissy boy. Moving on to Fraz, my man. You want to hit us with your lump job, mate?
Aye, mate, I've got England, Norway, both teams to score in over 2.5. That's priced at 21 to 20. All of 5 of Norway's games in the World Cup have had both teams to score in over 2.5 goals. England have had 3 out of their 5 not conceding to Panama and Ghana as expected, really. I've already mentioned England's dodgy defence last week for my previous pick, and that landed comfortably. Norway's can't be much better either, going off my first stat there, and they conceded to likes of Iraq. So not really much else needs to be said. You've got Bellingham, Kane, Odegaard and Haaland all in the park with pacey wingers on both sides and 2 suspect defences. I think it's a shoe-in.
Aye, when I seen it come in, I was like, aye, that seems definite cert for me. Just
I do
depends
like
if
it.
Norway change their game plan, but aye, should come in.
I'll be honest, I'm not as confident as I was against Mexico, but it was the only bet that jumped out to me for this week, to be honest.
Ireland only needs one chance to score, so
I wouldn't have it high up on my list of bets for what I've heard tonight, just because I think how nervous and how tight these games are going to be. But what you said is, if there is going to be one game over 2.5, it will be this one.
Mm-hmm.
When I first seen it come in, I thought it was having deja vu because it was just my pick for the week where I was the only one that got a lump job up.
Yeah, I do like the bet. The only thing that puts me off is thinking how Norway played against Brazil, and they were so happy to just stand in the middle of the park with the ball. See if there wasn't any pressure on them, there was no urgency to go forward, and I think it's because they know Haaland will take, if you give him one or two chances, he's going to take one or two of them. But saying that, I do not see England sitting off them the way the Brazilians did. Whenever I've seen England, they've been quite forward going. So, aye,
you're going to go
I'm
for
with
it.
it. Aye.
I thought Norway even played that way a wee bit in that game I tipped, the Ivory Coast game. Not as
Aye.
much as the Brazil game, but I think getting to a quarter final they'll be even more nervous.
Aye.
I've been the same with Norway. I'm not convinced, but see when I seen that every one of their games in the World Cup's been both teams to scoring over 2.5, that just swayed me towards a bet. Do you know what I mean?
Aye. You can't
Just
argue
needs a
against
wee
that.
early goal.
Even England have been like electric in two of their games, like Croatia and Mexico. The other three games they've still scored, bar than the Ghana game. So they've scored like 2 goals plus every game bar that Ghana game. But sometimes like under 2 goals they can be a wee bit boring, and you know what I mean. Lads, kind of passing it about a bit as well, not getting chances. But on the stats alone, it looks like it definitely land.
Aye. Because you're wanting England to come out flying, and then it will just bring the game to life. Because I see Norway, because see when Norway need to be, when I watched Norway dismantle Senegal, man, could have put 7 past Senegal in the first half in the group stage game. So when Norway really turn it on, they can go for it. So like we says, across all these quarter-final games, if there's going to be a game with goals in it, it's going to be this game in it.
Aye, I'd say that.
Okay. Thank you, Fraser, my man.
Cheers.
And then lastly is going to be my lump job. So let me just scroll down to get my notes here. So my lump job is going to be France versus Morocco, and the second half to have the most goals in it. So there's two main aspects to the thinking behind this bet. So first and foremost, the magnitude of the game. Obviously, World Cup quarterfinals are notoriously tight, as we've already spoke about for obvious reasons, particularly in the first half. So if you look at all of the FIFA World Cup quarterfinal games, excluding extra time, the second half has historically produced more goals than the first. So if you take all the goals scored in 90 minutes across those quarterfinals, 58% have came in the second half, leaving 42% in the first. So for me, those stats kind of speak for themselves, really. But if you look at the matchup of the two teams playing, it actually makes this angle even more appealing to me. So in both of France and Morocco's last two knockout games in the previous rounds of the World Cup, this bet has landed. In fact, 3 out of the 4 games have been nothing each at half time, which is obviously the strongest start possible for this bet to land. We've seen it many times already in the tournament. France are happy just to control possession in the first half of the game and then turn the screw a wee bit in the second half. Seen it against Paraguay, we've seen it against Sweden. And then if you look at all of France's games in this World Cup so far, this bet's landed in all of them, bar one, and that was when Dembele decided to dismantle Norway's B team in the first half. I don't know if you remember watching that game when Norway had their their donkeys out, basically. So that's the only time this hasn't landed in France's games. And then obviously Morocco are notoriously a defensive side, and it was nothing each at half time in their previous 2 knockout games that I've already alluded to. So I did look at the draw at half time result, but that's only coming in at 13-10. I think the much safer option here is this bet, with the second half having more goals in the first half. So that if France or even Morocco sneak a goal in the first half, you've still got the second half to recover with 2 goals, and it doesn't fuck that bet. So you're not getting much better price at a half-time draw result for much more risk, in my opinion. And then lastly, my only concern this bet, and I mentioned it earlier, only concern is if Morocco play it and like they did against Canada in that first half of the previous game, they're in trouble because France will fucking flatten them. But saying that, I do think they'll have learned a lesson. They're probably just a wee bit shocked at how much Canada came at them, and I think they'll be much more prepared knowing that they're playing the tournament favourites, so they're just going to keep it really tight in the first half before France start to turn the screw a wee bit. So my prediction is nothing each at half time, potentially 1-0 France, and then that will open up the game in the second half. So just to recap, that is France versus Morocco. The second half to have the most goals, and that's coming in at 11-10 on Bet365.
I like it, mate. Very good.
It's not something I've seen before, really, but now you've explained it, does make sense. I did have a look at Morocco's games, as you said, they're like 0-0 a lot first half, and even if there's 1 goal, you can still see them being 2 in the second half. So still got legs, even if they do concede.
I think on what you've just said and read out, it's not a market I know too well. I'd personally probably rather go for Stivs. The market Stiv went for his game, and know both halves. And what you said there, or under 2.5, just because it's a market I don't know much about. I'm more in line to go with the way Stiv would, and a goal no in both halves.
When I did look at it, that's the kind of angle I fell down. For the reasons you said, like a lot of the games have been 0-0. A goal in both halves has not landed in 4 out of 5 of Morocco's games. And then the 2 games that didn't for France, I think they get held to a 0-0 draw at half time as well. So I just felt like if it was going to happen, it'd be 0-0 half time, then big bets are in.
Aye.
Unless it finishes 0-0.
Aye, it's a good point.
It
would be interesting to see the price on that. I'd imagine it's similar.
Evens with Paddy Power.
Similar, aye. I guess it depends what route you want to go down. I'm probably more in the route that Faraz is on, in the sense that I want that wee bit of insurance that if there's a goal in the first half, I'm counting on 2 in the second half. But I know what you're saying, because I think that if a goal both halves no only works, and it doesn't only work. It's more likely to work if there isn't a goal in the first half. If there is, you can probably guarantee there's going to be a goal in the second half because teams need to commit.
Morocco did draw 1 each with Brazil, both goals in the first half. Can happen, but like it is more likely the other way about.
Aye, in the knockout games.
Aye,
because that different group stages, but knockouts. When they're going to be going out, they need to score. So
fair price anyway, 100%.
Aye, I like it, but to be honest, Corey, I was the exact same as Corey. I've not seen the market before, to be honest, or even thought to bet on it. But I think we're all kind of thinking a lot of these games could be cagey to begin with. And if there is a wee goal somewhere, then obviously, you know yourself, they're going to be fighting for their lives, aren't they?
Exactly, mate. I think it's hard to find value. I think we'll agree. We've been scrambling about picking bets, changing bets, looking to find value. I know I picked a funky market in the last episode. I'm not necessarily chasing crazy markets. I just think that this does. Do think this has got a bit of value in it, and in a market that's hard to find some with tough matchups. All right, lads. That concludes the final lump job. So just to summarise for the listeners, we have got Andy's bet, which is Argentina to qualify and Lionel Messi to score, coming in at 11-10. We've got Corey, Spain versus Belgium, and Spain to have over 5.5 corners, and that's coming at 10 to 11. Steve, also Spain versus Belgium, both halves no, coming in at 65. Chrissy, Argentina to qualify, and Argentina to have over 4.5 shots on target in the game. That's coming in also at 21 to 20, roughly, I think, Chrissy.
So it's evens now?
Evens now. Thank you, mate. And then we've got Fraser, Norway and England, both teams to score on over 2.5, coming in at evens. And then lastly, myself, France, Morocco, the second half to have the most goals in it, 11 to 10. And that market is on Bet365 for anyone looking for it, because I know it's a bit different. Oh, right, lads, that concludes the lump jobs for the quarterfinals. Any other final comments from the panel?
Nah, mate. I like them, Steve. I'm just going to spread a couple of bets across all of them. Sorry, Steve.
Well, that's what I was.
No hard feelings, mate.
That's what I was just going to come on to. Just a quick round table. Who's what's everyone's favourite bet that we've discussed? So if we just go through the same order that we did in terms of giving the bets. So Andy, whose bet do you like, mate? Who will you be taking for a wee double, treble, potential quad?
I like Corey's. I like Corey's bet, mate.
Aye.
I think I'm going to go. I'm going to go with that. And then my own bet as a single. I'll probably add Corey's, and I don't know. I quite like yours or not. I like the more goals in the second half, so I might go for a treble there.
Decent, mate. Nice one. Corey?
For me, it would be Chrissy's, and then it would be Steve's bet. They're my favourite too.
All right, mate. And then we've got Steve. Who do you like the look of, mate?
I've actually got a double on me and Corey's, and the good thing about that's one game. So I need to wait a bit for
What's the price? What's the price?
I think it was 12 to 5.
Nice.
The double. And then I've also done the double with the Morocco France game, but both half no. That came up because I couldn't see your market Paddy Power at first, but that came in about 3.41. So I imagine the double with yours would be about the same.
Nice one, mate. Chrissy?
Well, Argentina over 4.5, and then I'm going to do that a double with Fraser's. England, Norway, both teams to score 2.5. And I also like Corey's a corner one.
Aye.
I like them all, to be fair, but I don't know. I'll just have a wee looking.
Aye.
That's a treble I'm going to go for first of all, but definitely.
Nice. So a lot of people saying they like Corey's. Fraser?
Okay, I've already said I like all four of them, to be honest, and Mullins, so I'll just spread a couple of bets between them.
Aye. Right, mate. Aye. I really like Corey's. I'll be doing that a double with myself. And then I'll have to pick between Chrissy's and Andy's and what angle I prefer between they two. For a treble, and I'll probably find space for yours, I know, Fraz. And as always, I will be taking a punt on the sixfold. I don't know what the price will be, but if it's anything like the last episode, it will be tasty.
I think if you put them all together, I was looking on Paddy Power, it's like 35 to 1. But all the bets joined together. So
I've got a wee fiver on that.
Nice. I'll be.
I think I'll need to board my windies if there's under 5.5 corners since you've all selected it.
No, I like the sound of your bet, mate. It's good. It's just funny. It's came to this stage where we're cheering on corners, shots, and target, and Whitehorse get the most goals in it instead of just teams to win.
I think you can see how hard it is. With only 4 games and all. That's probably the most difference of opinions there at the end.
Aye,
we're all going off in different wee ways, so it's really hard.
Aye, and then so obviously it's tough because the games are coming thick and fast. I feel like we were only recording a couple of days ago. We've obviously got the quarterfinals coming up, and then when's the semis?
Tuesday and Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Tuesday, Wednesday. So again, we're probably recording this weekend once we know the outcome of those quarterfinals. So hopefully,
Argentina's 2 a.m. Saturday. That's the last one.
Right.
Sunday then, record Sunday.
Aye. Okay, fellas. All right, it's been a pleasure. Well, I know it's late. Some of yous, or if not all yous, have probably been working and are choking to go for a shower and go to your bed. So if there's anything else, raise it now, or if not, we can wrap up there.
Nah, cheers, lads. Pleasure as always.
Cheers, host.
Cheers, lads.
See you later.
Bye.
See you later.
You are now listening to the Lump Job podcast, where every match has its price.